Yeah.
Oh, we did not know what it would be. We
And
just
that's
know.
in Bangladesh.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So we were both in Bangladesh, and we were just having a casual discussion like, this is one market segment or a target customer which we need to really, focus on. No one
Mm,
has done it. And the reason why we both thought of this is because of our experiences seeing what migrant workers go through when we
mhm.
are at the airport, whenever we are going to a country where there are Bangladeshi migrant workers present, and also hearing about all their troubles and everything all over the news, right? And
Mm.
we, but at that point of time in 2022, we did not know exactly what kind of solutions we can offer. We did not come up with an idea, we're going to build an app, we're going to provide this. So our
Mhm.
plan was, why don't we just go and speak to migrant workers? Why don't we start learning about them? And then we will think about if there's something that we can offer or not. And then Ridwan and I and one of our colleagues, we just, went straight to Singapore. Now,
Mm.
Singapore, the reason for choosing Singapore was from our study and from all the migrant workers living around all the world, Bangladeshi migrant workers. Singapore has one of the smallest amount of migrant workers,
Mhm. Mhm.
Bangladeshi migrant workers living there. When we started, it was around 110, 100,000,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
now it's 150, right? Close to 150. But that's nothing. There are
Mm.
over 1.5 million documented in Malaysia,
Yeah.
which we also are looking into. We have already ventured into Malaysia as well.
Uh-huh.
And
So you're operating now in both Singapore and Malaysia, or
yeah, yeah, yeah. And we're going to
wow,
launch another market somewhere this year, sometime
in
this year. Yeah.
Brunei? Where is
Uh,
any clue?
as of now, as of now, we are thinking it could be Qatar. Qatar.
Wow.
One of the biggest reason is because Qatar has so many similarities to Singapore.
Yeah.
And from our understanding, the Qatar's financial system, a lot of things are designed by Singaporeans, people from the Singaporean regulatory authorities and everything. So they
Yeah.
have a lot of sync. And however, Qatar is also conservative in terms of how they, welcome businesses from the outside, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we are working towards that. There are so many ways to get into it, and
Yeah.
but definitely in terms of the market size, Qatar
Yeah.
is almost 3 to 4 times bigger than Singapore.
Yeah.
However, the the demand from Qatar and the acceptance from Qatar, we are very confident about it.
Yeah.
Because we have done that same ground research by visiting Qatar, and we definitely see there's a demand, and we can't wait
Interesting.
to go there.
Interesting. So apart from the challenges of future potentially expansion in Qatar, what are some of the biggest challenges that you face or are faced by the migrant workers in Singapore? And how does Hometown app address this issue through the
Hmm.
native language app itself?
Okay, so how we got to know about their issues is, as I said, we went there, we spoke to them, and
Mhm.
we literally, in our first few months, we went to several dinners, right? Several
Remote
dinners
worker.
with migrant workers. And it's not
Wow.
that we sent out an invitation or anything. No, we saw someone on the street, wherever they hang out the most, we just simply reach out and we call them bhai, right? Brother in Bangla, right?
Yeah.
And we just say, hey, brother, we want to speak to you. We are from Bangladesh. We are operating there and this, and we just want to learn about your lifestyle in Singapore. How is it going? And Riza, I'll tell you, there are so many things that we have heard. They were so open. We did not expect that people would be so open to share with us.
Mhm.
Uh, And the reason why they were so open is because there have been so many other businesses which tried targeting the migrant workers,
Mhm.
but they were never involved with them. They never wanted to speak to them directly,
Yeah,
uh, but but rather like maybe asking them to endorse the business, right?
yeah.
But not
Like
hearing from
what
them
what
directly.
what you did by having this sort of like random dinner with random migrant workers that you met on the street is beyond the traditional business model that
Yeah.
like most entrepreneurs are doing in the past years. And I think you have, I would say, revolutionized the way I think the future entrepreneurs will be working in the field and in the next
Yes.
years.
And not just the way we approached it, even the way we designed our application.
Yeah.
It's totally unconventional. It's not
Uh-huh.
something that the way people book their tickets or they send money back home. Anything we do with Hometown, we don't go and see what others have done. Rather, we want to see what our people, our customers want, and we do it that way. We don't have to follow the norm, right?
Hmm.
So, as you were asking me about the problems, so after speaking to them, one of the smallest problem that they had, which was from the all the other problems in their life, which is booking flights, right? So obviously, this is something that we expertise in. This is one of our expertise, and the main thing that they had problem with flights was the lack of transparency. They had no idea about what the market fares are. So any offline channel or any offline businesses they had to go to, they'd go to any traditional travel agency, they'd ask for the fares,
Yeah.
and agencies would just rip them off, right? Because they
Yeah.
had,
Yeah.
and obviously the migrant workers are not familiar with price matching. They're not
Yeah.
they do not have the idea about shopping through other platforms and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of them are in English or very complicated or for the most smartest users, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just go to one agency, what their colleagues have booked from. So they would just go to that agency and just buy because X brother has bought from that agency. I'll just go and buy from there as well, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
And then how does hometown apps platform improve the lives and working conditions of these workers? And what kind of
Mhm.
impact you've seen so far? Like, for example, when they're going to these travel agencies, they might have spent a little bit more of what they could have actually saved by having this hometown app, right? So
Right.
explain, Wafi.
Sure. So uh, we definitely address the transparency thing where they can see the fares. And since the way we have taught them how to look for flights online,
Mm-hmm.
that has actually helped them to go to other apps, right?
Oh, now they're
However,
looking into your competitors.
yes, but it sort of works good for us in a way
Of
because
course. Yeah.
now uh, they know that in many areas we might always not be the cheapest, but
Right.
in many areas we are much easier for them.
Mm-hmm.
We our after sales service is the best because they can speak to someone local in their native language
Definitely.
after they have booked their flights. And in other ways, we are trying to make these migrant workers smarter in the way they make decisions. Now, because of the payment options that we have offered them, they know how to use many banking apps because and
Wow.
you would ask like how did we teach them these, right?
Yeah.
It's because in the journey on the mobile application we have embedded many videos within the journey. So let's say
Interesting.
someone gets stuck in one of the while they're booking a ticket or
Yeah.
sending money, they can simply tap on a link within that journey and just see a pop-up would come up and they can see the video and how to do that process, right? Similar thing whenever they're trying to pay.
Yeah.
They would see the video just before the payment journey starts. We teach them how to do this. So, and also using our socials and also doing many campaigns and stuff, we're trying to teach them how to use this and that app. It sort of helps us as well for them to learn about all the payment methods, but it's
Mhm.
also teaching them how to be smarter and have a better life either in Singapore or Malaysia.
Interesting. And now I'm talking about the native language. So what role do you think technology can play in bridging the gap between the migrant workers and their employees or the employers in
Mhm.
Singapore or Malaysia or the broader community? Like since you will be expanding, I believe, like you will look into the UAE next after Qatar. So
Yeah, yeah.
do you think like this hometown app employing native
Mm.
language that these workers understand, do you think you will also still need like customer service staff to help them or to assist them apart from the videos that you also provide for them?
Right. Definitely, we do. There would still be a need for, our staff to be involved in the process. It's
Uh-huh.
because uh, of the fear that migrant workers have taking that first step, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you about our experience during the first few months of launching Hometown, or maybe even, in fact, the first year, is building that trust amongst these migrant workers because
Mm-hmm.
they get scammed so much in so many ways.
Oh wow.
Even in Singapore,
Yeah.
right? They've bought tickets from an offline agency. They went to the airport, and at the check-in counter, they get to know the it's a fake ticket,
Oh no.
right?
Wow. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's worse in Bangladesh. If they're booking, let's say they're going back from Bangladesh, and they booked from an agency, they're at the airport. Uh, it's crazy. And obviously, they have family members coming in to drop them off or see them off. And with the embarrassment that they have been scammed, a lot of people don't even share this with their family members.
Right. Yeah. I can understand that. Yeah. It's terrible. Wow.
Yeah.
And they
Yes.
share that problems with you when you are speaking with them.
So the reason they're sharing is they're asking us, are you not going to be the next business who's going to rip us off? Who's going to scam us? Because you're all
Huh?
online, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
When we started in Singapore, we did not have a plan to have any physical location,
Yeah.
right? We wanted to be all app, because our whole purpose was not having these migrant workers waste time traveling to some place and
Mm-hmm.
getting all these services for a simple ticket or simply sending money back home. And they only get their Sundays as their off days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're wasting 3-4 hours on this, it's a joke.
Right.
However, for migrant workers, since it has been a practice for such a long time that we need to go to a physical store, we need to have
Yeah.
some sort of physical presence in order to instill trust. I don't
Exactly.
know where, if I had to go to Booking.com's office to book a hotel, I would never think of that, right? But for migrant workers, it's definitely a need. So what we did, we simply, have, placed help centers. We don't call it shop or anything. It's simply a help center where
Mm-hmm.
you can definitely come in. If you're not sure how to use the app, even if it's Bangla, you still don't know how to, log in or download it. They still need help in these areas. You can just come there. We have our volunteers, we have our staff. They can help you out. And the thing is, in other businesses, they have to go and stand in queue, and they're very, very formal and everything about their services.
Yeah.
But with us, migrant workers come in, they relax, they see their native Bengali people are at the store.
Yeah.
Immediately, their mood changes,
Of
and
course.
yeah, and that has helped us a lot in terms of establishing our credibility
Mm-hmm.
amongst them. And yeah, it definitely helped us scale as well.
Also to ensure that it will meet their needs. Like, then you will have to translate from the sort of heart to heart conversation with them, um, randomly in the middle of the street in Singapore, and then you translate that into an app that can meet their needs.
Right.
Buffy.
So yes. So remember I told you about those dinners, right?
Yeah.
During those conversations, we got to learn about why they have obviously tried using other apps, but why those did not work for them. So we got an idea about what are the challenges that they faced. So
Mm-hmm.
we went to our drawing board. We designed something literally. Like when I started Hometown, there was no one in the team. I had to literally assemble a team for this. It started from scratch. Hometown has been a startup within a startup, within a Gozaya. So
Yeah.
yeah, we literally drew the UX of the app and
Yeah.
made a mock-up. And within maybe a couple of months, we went back to Singapore. And in between these times, we have been traveling and we have been learning about their needs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so we made a mock-up. We did not release the app. We did not launch it, anything. We
Yeah.
went there. We spoke to those same guys again, right? And we
Okay.
spoke to even some new people. And
Uh-huh.
then we showed them, does this work for you? Is this something that is going to help you book a ticket on your own? And
Uh-huh.
we got validation, right?
Uh-huh.
So there is a process of product building, right?
Yeah.
Ideation, creation,
Yeah.
validation, right? We
Yeah.
literally practiced that, right?
Yeah.
And then they gave us some valuable insights. And I remember, since I was so involved with them during the conversation, there are a
Yeah.
lot of things that I had to capture, right? But so what I did with their permission, I was recording the entire session while they were, you know, going through the mock-up or going
Uh,
through the, demo app.
yeah.
And I noticed where at which point of time or which screen they were frowning, they were not understanding,
Yeah.
and where they were taking much longer to move on to the next screen. So these things really gave us a lot of information. Because when you are sitting next to a migrant worker, uh, to be honest, at times they do get intimidated, right? They don't know how to express their real feeling, right? Because they're
Mm-hmm.
thinking this guy built an app and he just got me this. I don't know what to say. What
Right.
if uh, what if it embarrasses them, right?
Yeah.
So we really had to, uh, pick them and then learn, hi, where are you stopping? Why did you not choose this option? Why did you choose that option? And
Uh-huh.
they started becoming very relaxed. They have been opening up to us after that. And
Yeah.
since then, with on our social media, on our Facebook groups and pages, now people share a lot more about what they like and what they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And this helped us, and also with what sort of payment methods they like. This
Uh-huh.
helped us really build the app from scratch.
Yeah.
It's actually migrant workers who built it. We simply delivered. And
Right. Yeah. I can tell. Yeah. The
yeah,
whole process
and
is quite interesting.
yes, and since then, even after launching flights, it's the migrant workers who requested us to bring the remittance option for them, the remittance service. They told
Wow.
us, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
hometown." So on time to time, we run polls in our Facebook group, right? Asking,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want next? Which is the mobile service that you use the most? Many questions. And
Yeah.
they simply type in or choose options and everything. They try to communicate with us. These are the things that we want. Remittance was the top one that they wanted. This is
Uh-huh.
something that you definitely need to help us with,
Yeah.
because so recently I stated something on my LinkedIn as well. Last year itself, uh, migrant workers lost about $1.3 billion due to like not having the best. So per migrant worker, they lost about 9.3, $9.4 per transaction because of exchange, not having good exchange rates and the
Right. Yeah.
high transfer fees for
Yeah.
service fees,
So that's
right?
the whole migrant workers in Singapore alone. That
No, that involves all of the
global.
world, global
Right. Okay.
Bangladeshi migrant workers. Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. So now what kind of feedback and how that you have received from the workers, from the migrant workers and their employers, for example, if
Mhm.
they're really into that to help ease the life of the
Right.
worker itself. We have used the platform and how has it shaped your product roadmap? I mean, like probably from what you the original version of the demo app that you presented to them might have gone through sort of, oh, I don't like this process, let's cut it out. And from the migrant workers, like you have some inputs and ideas. Oh, this is, this is making me confused. Like, let's take it out from the whole process of this demo app. Like what we
Yes, for sure. Uh, so I was talking about 2022 when we
yeah.
had that demo app.
Yeah.
Since then, so many has changed, but the basic UI and everything, the UX, that has remained the same. Very simple, one action every screen, not more than that, and very
Mhm.
guided. And
Yeah.
it's like you are speaking to the app and someone else, the app is another person, you're speaking to it and it's guiding you, right? That's how we did the journey. However, rather than asking us, we don't like this, what migrant workers have mostly done to us is telling us this is what we need in the journey, or this is what would help us more. This is another
Uh-huh.
additional service that you can offer us. For
Uh-huh.
example, with booking flights, something that is not widely practiced, and or I haven't seen anyone practicing it, at least from the OTA perspective, which
Mhm.
is partial payment for migrant workers. So
Ah.
migrant workers, they get paid within the first 10 days of the month, both in Singapore and Malaysia, right?
Mhm.
And by the 15th of the month, their wallets are empty. They've already done their, they've already sent their money back home, whatever they
Mhm.
need to buy for them. And 90% of the money is actually sent back home, right? Every month.
Yeah.
Because they also get a 2.5% incentive from Bangladesh government because if they're sending money legally, right?
Huh. Interesting.
So uh, from that, what we learned, if a migrant worker goes into the app on the 16th or the 20th of the month, they see an attractive fare, flight fare, they're not being able to book it because they don't have money, right?
Yeah.
Because their wallets are dry by that time. So
Yeah.
what should they do? By the time they get their next payday or paycheck, they're not able to secure that fare.
Mhm.
Most of the OTAs let you book the tickets maybe for 30, 40 minutes and then it refreshes again.
Exactly. Yeah.
We introduced something called partial payment where you can pay 50% of the fare and
Mhm.
then we book that ticket, we hold that ticket, we take that 50%, and from the 7 days from your journey date, you can pay the rest, right?
Mhm.
We have found out a model where we see it's not affecting us as a business, where we
Mhm.
don't incur any loss, and we can also ensure the migrant workers are getting the fare that they really liked, right? There-
Interesting. Yeah.
And this has helped them a lot, especially during the holiday seasons,
Yeah.
because most of the fares get very high, it skyrockets.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
that migrant workers tend to book the flights now using us, maybe a couple of months earlier, and they can get the lowest fare just with partial payments, and they just pay us. The latest is 7 days, 3 to 7 days before their flight.
Interesting. With all those newly developed features within the app itself, um,
Yeah.
How does Hometown app plan to scale its impact and reach more workers in Singapore and potentially other countries in Southeast Asia?
Mhm. Okay.
Like, would you
I
add
think there are so many.
workers into the app or?
To be honest, what we really think is we first look for what the problems are existing. We don't have to have the app be very quirky. It doesn't always have to have the smartest features.
Of course.
Rather, is it addressing the basic problems or the basic issues that they're having? As long
Mhm,
as it addresses them, it helps
mhm.
them. We are good, they're good. They don't ask for much, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to make them feel that same intimidation that they would have had if I was sitting next to them asking them, what did you learn about the app from us, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it has to be very simple for them. And
Mhm,
in terms of scaling, as I said, Singapore has been the smartest market. It is the smallest for migrant workers, but
mhm,
Singapore is actually one of the smartest markets where migrant workers have a minimum level of education.
mhm.
Uh, Almost all are documented.
Yeah.
Uh, However, as we move on to the other markets, the neighboring country, Malaysia, it's whole different.
So, if
A
you
lot of
could
them,
explain,
yeah.
like which country, Singapore or Malaysia, has more migrant workers from Bangladesh, and what's the difference? Like by how
Okay.
far?
So Malaysia definitely has much more. It's almost 10 to 12 times more than Singapore.
Really?
The number of migrant workers.
Wow.
Yes. It's a huge country. They're all dispersed and everything.
Yeah.
And in terms of level of education, digital literacy,
Mm-hmm.
Malaysia is a bit behind.
Wow.
Migrant workers living in Malaysia,
Mm-hmm.
uh, bec a lot of the ways that migrant workers get paid there is one of them would be cash. In
Mm-hmm.
Singapore, everyone gets paid in their bank accounts, right?
Right. Yeah.
So they would know how to go to a bank, they would know how to use their debit cards or a banking app. But Malaysia, a lot of them are undocumented. Even the ones which are documented, some of them are getting paid in cash, right?
Hmm.
Uh, so their digital literacy is a bit lower than that of the migrant workers in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
So we are working as much as possible to educate them, just like how we did in Singapore,
Yeah.
and we are teaching them how to get off track and
Yeah.
be much more smarter, make their lives easier.
Yeah.
And I think we are on a good track. And again, so in Singapore, we did something, and then in Malaysia, we have to start from scratch again with the education thing.
Pretty
But
together.
then when we go to Qatar, it's again similar to Singapore, right?
Interesting.
Uh,
Yeah. And what about the market there? Like, is it the same size with Singapore or smaller or bigger in
it's
Qatar?
in between. Qatar is in between of Singapore and Malaysia, so
Interesting.
it's much bigger than Singapore again. Singapore, as I said, it's the smallest one, but
Yeah.
it is definitely smaller than Malaysia.
Yeah.
And it's easier to probably reach out to people in Qatar. Mostly stay within Doha or the
Okay.
surrounding districts.
Yeah.
And I've already been there, did my initial market research, and it definitely showed some potential, and felt really good that we'll soon be there.
Yeah. So talking about these three countries like Singapore, Malaysia, well, I would say Malaysia tops the list. So Singapore, Qatar, and Malaysia. What are some of the partnerships or collaboration that have been very crucial to hometown success? And how do you see the startup ecosystem supporting initiatives like hometown? Or,
Okay.
have you worked with any local, for example, government organizations or
Mhm.
local NGOs and medias?
Not much with media or NGOs, but definitely, if I had to mention in Singapore, a few partnerships really helped us build credibility within the market. One
Uh-huh.
would be a direct partnership with Singapore Airlines. We are getting fares for them. They have been helping us promote. They are supporting us with, providing many marketing materials within our help center and stuff. And and also some local payment gateways which are approved and backed by the Singapore government.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is Nets, and so migrant workers, when they go to big malls or a local business in Singapore, they see these brands, this visibility of these brands on those spaces, right? They see
Yeah.
Nets, they see Singapore Airlines,
Yeah.
they see Singapore Airlines as something very premium or very good. Uh, um, and when they see that they have some ties with us, they trust us more,
Mm-hmm.
right? They see,
So
okay.
yeah, well, since you mentioned about the payment gateway, do you think what you studied back in London or in the UK is becoming more relevant?
Uh, Not directly again,
Yeah.
but definitely any knowledge that I've gathered in my
Yeah.
short educational journey, but it has come in some way, it has helped me. But then again, there are so many things. The payment gateways or anything that was back the time when I was studying 10, 12 years back.
Mm-hmm.
It's so different now, right? So things are
Exactly.
much
Yeah. Things have changed.
developed so much. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. Now, what advice would you give to other entrepreneurs, be it from Bangladesh or other countries in Asia, who are looking
Mhm.
to build solutions for this sort of, I would say, I don't know, like, would you say this as a grassroots problems or something like that, underserved, to help the underserved and the marginalized communities in Southeast Asia or South Asia in specific?
Right. From my experience and from things that I have learned, I would really suggest any founder or anyone in the Southeast Asian region or anywhere in the world, if you are, looking into building a new business, you should definitely spend some time, you know, as much as time possible with your target segment. Learn about them before,
Mm-hmm.
two co-founders or anyone thinking, hey, let's build this product, right?
Right.
Before deciding on that, maybe you should first explore. You should see what are the resources you have available at
Mm-hmm.
your disposal, and then you speak to your market segment, what they really want, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are many businesses, many startups which have failed uh, pursuing what VCs or any other investors would find sexier, right? Rather than
Yeah.
uh, rather than actually approaching or going head on with the problem. So really focus on that. Speak to them. Spend some as much as time possible with your customers, potential customers. And the other one would be maybe try to have an open mind when building your product. Doesn't
Mhm.
have to be the most conventional way. You don't
Mhm.
have to follow another startup or another, you don't have to be the next Uber, Grab, or anyone,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You can take your own approach and try something where you might just have more traction than the others,
Yeah.
right?
So and talking about taking different approach, do you think what you have done with this hometown app by going to the ground, meeting with these people in Singapore and Malaysia, it will not always work with other entrepreneurs who might be doing similar things?
Uh, of course, there's always a chance that it might not work with everyone, and
Uh-huh.
with not, and also it depends on what sort of customers that they are targeting, what's
Yeah.
their background, what their needs are. So it all depends on the approach that the founders are taking, the other businesses are taking, and
Mm-hmm.
also how they communicate between their customers.
Mm-hmm.
That has to do a lot of that as well. Yeah.
And before we're moving to the next question, would you mind showing us the app itself? Like, so, you know, our
Okay.
audience can see and learn about the
Mhm.
hometown app, and then how, like, um, how to operate that in a simple way so that, you know, like we have
Sure.
the idea.
Of course. Just give me a minute. I'll try to
Sure.
share my screen. I'll show you the live app, so it's easier for you to understand. Okay. I've sent a request for sharing the screen with you.
Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. Uh, Mas Ranu, can you help share the screen for Wafi?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay,
Yes, got the
perfect.
access. Oh, sure.
So the app is applicable or like accessible on the desktop as well, or um I think you're muted, but I'm not sure. There we go. All right. Oh, that's interesting. Wafi, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I think the audience cannot hear you now. Uh, we can't hear you now. I'm not sure what's happening, but you are on mute, but we cannot hear you speak. No, not yet. I think I still can't hear you. Is that probably because of this the screen sharing? Uh, Hold on. I still can't. Okay. Try to unmute now, and then and see if no, not yet. Mas Ranu, can you help? What's happening? Can you look in? Bisa bantu? Kira-kira kenapa tidak bisa
Yeah.
dengar Wafi? Okay. Now I can hear you. Okay, perfect.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. Something was wrong with the video. I'll share my screen again then. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's available on both mobile phone and desktop, or
No, it's just on mobile. So I'm sharing my mobile screen.
all right. Okay,
As you can
got
see.
it. Got it. Yeah.
Yes. Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see you. It's a very simple and unique. I mean, like I love how the
Yeah.
bump script appear.
Hmm. And yeah, as I was saying previously, we kept it very simple for them. Just
Yeah.
two options. Either you book flight or you send money. And if you click
Interesting.
on book flight,
Yeah.
it will tell you either you can book for yourself or
Yeah.
for others, maybe one of your colleague, right? And
Mm-hmm.
let's say I book for myself.
Uh-huh.
Again, you can notice it's just one single action in every screen.
Uh-huh.
Uh, you choose international, you go next, and you don't have to type in the destinations. You can just simply choose from using these radio buttons. Uh,
Wow, that's very
for
simple.
Dhaka,
Yeah.
yes, and it's much simpler when it's in Bangla. For the audience, I'm keeping it in English. So let's say I
Sure,
select
yeah.
Singapore, Dhaka, and I choose July 25th. I want to go back to Bangladesh, and I click on search flights. It will so it will immediately show me all the flights that are available. So we have
Wow.
locked in the direct flights on the top. So you
Yeah.
have these first two are local carriers, and then there's Singapore Airlines. You see, it's nothing too fancy, right? Our focus
Mm-hmm.
was never too much on the UI rather than the UX,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Uh, and the
It's very
two most
simple.
Yeah, and the two most important things for the migrant workers are the fare and the baggage, which they can easily see as
Yeah.
soon as this, right?
Yeah.
And if that is all they need to decide on whether they're going to choose this flight or not. If they want to
Mm-hmm.
learn more, they can simply click on see flight info and they can have a
Wow.
breakdown of the exact thing. How many
It's
baggages they need to take in each
wow.
baggage, how much
Yeah.
they can take at a maximum and everything,
Yeah.
right? So this is for the flight, and then they just go on to booking it. They enter their passport information and the payment, and that's
Yeah.
done. Everything that it's communicated within the app. They'll get SMS, or if they choose, they can get a communication through WhatsApp. And the other one is sending money.
Right.
Here, they can see how much they're getting the exchange rate. Again,
Mm-hmm.
kept
Mm-hmm.
it very simple. Let's say they want to send 100 Singapore dollars back home. They can
Mm-hmm.
immediately see the exact amount that their beneficiary would get in Bangladesh, right? Not a single penny
Wow.
more or not a single penny
Yeah.
less. We
Yeah.
are very transparent in that. The transaction fee, that is, I think, one of the lowest in Singapore, if not the
Mm-hmm.
lowest. And
Mm-hmm.
then they can go to send money, simple bank transfer or a mobile wallet that we have, very
Yeah.
popular here in Bangladesh. And
Yeah.
again, they go on to entering just three information: uh, their bank name, account number, branch, and that's it. They can
Yeah.
send money, and it gets sent within minute.
Wow.
And I was talking about, I'm very confident about the other thing about us. It's our service, right?
Yeah.
So as you can see on the top right, there is help, right? If you click on it,
Mm-hmm.
you will see our hotline and you can see WhatsApp. As soon as someone clicks on WhatsApp, it takes them to their WhatsApp and they can communicate with us directly. They
Yeah.
don't have to save number or anything. It's all embedded in the app. And these
Right.
are the guided videos I was talking about, right?
Interesting. Yeah. Wow.
It's here if they want a reference, if they're not within the journey, but these are all also embedded within the journey.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. I'm mind blown. It's a very simple yet very impactful, I would say.
Yeah.
Wow. And
We're trying to do better, and I'll drop something which is for probably first, and I haven't shared it with uh, anyone else yet or
yeah,
publicly. We are launching another product or a service next month.
within
Uh,
the hometown app.
it's within the hometown app. It's going to be facilitated by the hometown app, which is
Uh-huh.
offering loans to migrant workers.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
their topmost problem whenever they're coming to any foreign country is that they get a lot of loans to
Yeah.
pay for
Yeah.
the agencies and everything. They get charged high and everything. They get
Yeah.
loans from loan sharks at very high interest rate, 30 to
Yeah.
40%.
Definitely.
Crazy.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
spend a year or two, or for some, it's more than that, just paying off those interests and the loan amount. Now, by the time, obviously, they don't want to go back to those loan sharks again.
Of course. Yeah.
As of now, we are not going to solve that problem yet, maybe
Mhm.
somewhere down the line. But for
Yeah.
now, if they want to have some immediate access to cash
Mm.
or a decent amount, they can apply through us. We have partnered up with some local banks in
Mm.
Bangladesh, some of the biggest banks in Bangladesh, and they would be able to give them loans without any collateral. All they need to do is they have to be documented in Singapore. They
Yeah.
need to show us a proof that they're getting paid regularly
Mm-hmm.
uh, based on how much salary they're getting, their regular behavior of using the hometown app to send money back home. It's
Yeah.
it's a very exclusive service for them.
Yeah.
They're going to get loans, very up, I think up to 4,000 USD or around similar range. And the
Yeah.
best part of this loan is they would get the loan back here in Bangladesh to support their family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their family would have access to that money,
Mm-hmm.
but these migrant workers, they don't have to pay in BDT. They can pay in Singapore dollar.
Dollars. Interesting.
And they send that money in Bangladesh as remittance. And I was talking about
Yeah.
the 2.5% incentive, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That gets deducted from that gets adjusted with the interest amount that they're paying for the
Wait,
loan set.
interesting. So wait a second. So that's 2.5% of incentive from the government of Bangladesh. Is it a
Yes,
government law regulation that is in place already?
yes. So
Wow.
I'll tell you the reason behind it. It's because for a long period of time, our
Yeah.
problem was that we are not getting these remittances through legal channels.
Mm-hmm.
Remittance is the second most contributing factor to our GDP, if not currently the major one, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in order to motivate these migrant workers, in
Yeah.
order to encourage them more, government introduced this incentive. So if
Mm-hmm.
you pay through all the legal banking channels, you get that incentive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting. So, Wafi, this is last question before we are taking
Sure.
very brief, um, two brief questions from the audience.
Okay.
Looking ahead, what are your goals for hometown in the next 1 to 3 years, and how do you envision the startup contributing to a more inclusive and equitable society in Singapore and beyond?
Well, as you can see a trajectory. You can see a
Mhm.
plan
Yeah.
that we're doing. We want to be part of that entire journey of migrant worker, right?
Yeah.
We started with flights, the smallest thing, then remittance. Now we are going into loans, and hopefully in all other areas, we would try to address their problems one at a time. But we
Mhm.
would be there. We want to support these workers. If no one else is doing it, we'll do it. We'll build a business around it and definitely be a helping hand for them. And it started off with Singapore, the smallest market. We want to go all over the world, wherever there is a Bangladeshi, or maybe we might get involved with other nationalities as well.
Interesting. So, okay, well, let's take two brief questions from the audience. Talking about your vision, 1 to 3 years to come. What do you think about the sustainability of this hometown app?
Mhm. Uh, in terms of when we started,
Yeah,
there were some doubts of or how much we need to spend or in order to really reach the market. But I'll
yeah.
tell you something. It's been 3 years or almost 3 years since we launched Hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think the first 2 years we have spent nearly zero in social media marketing or anything. Nothing,
Yeah.
right?
And then
The growth
now,
has been there, and now we are a profitable business.
wow. Yeah,
In
I
less
can
than
see
three
it.
years,
Yeah.
we are a profitable business, and we scale, we became profitable even earlier than the GoZine business itself, right? But now GoZine is also profitable. Things are going good for us.
Yeah,
And we definitely see there is some more. Obviously, as we go to new markets, there
yeah.
are areas we need to work on. There are some uh, areas we need to spend. But in the long run, this is definitely sustainable, and there is growth and demand.
And now last question from our
Yeah.
colleague in Good
Okay.
News from Southeast Asia.
Sure.
Anyway, Good News from Southeast Asia can help either Hometown or Go Zayan grow larger, not only in
Yeah.
Southeast Asia, but probably in Asia.
Right.
How can
Okay. You really put me on
okay?
the spot there.
I know, yeah.
But there's definitely many ways that I am thinking that could help us. I'm sure since you are connecting with so many businesses like ourselves,
Mhm.
maybe in some way you could be the bridge for us to connect with other businesses,
Sure,
right?
yeah,
And also, maybe we can have a discussion on how the areas that we are getting involved with these migrant workers, uh, Good News could be a good partner for us in those,
of course.
in many
Yeah,
any events that we do, in anything that we do.
yeah.
You can definitely be a part of it.
I think the opportunities are out there for us to
Yeah,
explore
so many,
thousands of
huge. Yes.
possibilities. Yeah. All right. Well, Wafil Haq, thank you so much for your time. It's been very, I don't know, like inspiring, I would say personally. And sitting here in the middle of Vientiane, a small town, a small capital city in Southeast Asia,
Yes,
but like I'm getting a lot of new knowledge from you, and then the inspiration and the ideas, of course, about this startup ecosystem, which I believe you should look into Vientiane and Laos as your future expansion possibility as well, because as
for
I said,
sure, for
so
sure.
many I don't know, business people and then migrant workers from Bangladesh here in town as well. Well, again, thank you so much for joining me, and
Thank you so
hopefully,
much.
yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
we can
hopefully,
hopefully we can meet in person
yeah, in
soon.
Singapore or
Yeah,
Malaysia.
yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
yeah, I was actually in Malaysia last week, but then yeah,
Okay.
I was doing something else. But yeah, talking about Singapore, of course, like let's set up sometime
Hmm.
probably this month if you're back
Sure.
in the country, then we can of course arrange a meeting in person. Again, thank you so
Absolutely.
much. To Asians,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for watching this episode with Wafil Haq, the Chief Business Officer of Gozayan, but also a person who is deeply involved in the development of this one of the successful application Hometown um, on exploring Southeast Asia startup ecosystem. Well, again, thank you, and then I'll see you on the
Thank you.
next episode of CACF Viewpoint. Good
Thank you,
afternoon.
everyone. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum, Wafi. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam.
Yeah,
Waalaikumsalam.
get in touch. Yeah, bye bye.